Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Inside Music. As always, I'm your host James Shotwell, and it's great to be with you again. My guest this week is Mina Caputo. Mina is probably best known as the front person of the band Life of Agony, but that's not what she's here to talk about today. She's here to talk about her brand new solo record, the latest in a career of solo material that stretches back 2 decades. Mina talks to me about her latest release and how it came together, but more importantly, we talk about the state of the world today, because let's be honest, it's pretty chaotic, and Mina has a lot of thoughts about why that is, how we can make things better, and what artists today need to do to establish themselves to have a lasting career in this business. It's wild, it's unpredictable, it's unruly, and it's pretty filthy at times, so go into this knowing that this is an episode unlike any you've heard in this show, and that all the thoughts in it are absolutely Mina's. But before we get there, I need to give you a few quick tips. This episode of Inside Music is brought to you by Holics, the music industry's leading promotional distribution platform. Join Holics today and start promoting your music the same way bands like Slipknot, I Prevail, and thousands more do already. Go to Holics.com, that's Haulix.com. You should also check us out on YouTube. We have a channel called Music Biz where you can see my face and learn about the music industry. That's youtube.com/musicbiz, music B-I-Z. But for right now, just sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Inside Music. How is your day going?
Good. I woke up at 5 a.m. Couldn't really sleep. And what I do, I meditated. I went grocery shopping. I took care of my dog. And I've been practicing a new sati piece for the last few hours. Because I play classical music and classical piano, and I study like 40 to 50 hours a week. So I went into overdrive during this, racket. So yeah, that's been my day. And then I was waiting for you, and then after I speak with you, I will continue studying until my back can't deal with it anymore.
Well,
are you there?
I'm here. I'm listening to you. I like to, my mistake that I make all too often in these conversations is that I start talking when somebody's just paused or taking a breath. And so I've learned to just shut up for an extra second.
Yeah. It's the art of listening. Yeah,
exactly.
The art of listening. No one listens.
No.
Everyone does cuts. Everyone does a cutoff. No one does listen. They just do cutoffs.
Exactly.
That's why everyone. That's why, like the world. So sorry. Yeah, as we choke each other out, that's why the world communicates like a bunch of fucking chimpanzees with moans and groans. No one's getting anything done because people just lost the art of actually listening and the art of understanding. And the art of communication, there is none anymore. It's just a bunch of fucking chimps, monkeys screaming at each other in the zoo, basically. So yeah, there's a lot of lost arts these days in pop culture.
Well, you're absolutely right. As somebody that talks to people kind of for a living a lot of the time, I struggle with it myself. And whenever I'm out in the world having a conversation with people, they sometimes think it's weird when I try to give them that extra half a second to take a breath in between saying things before I interject. But it is an art. I hope to one day perfect it, but probably never will.
I think in this lifetime, the art of perfection doesn't even exist, There is no destination. It's always just learning and growing. Doesn't matter what you're doing, who you are, whatever fucking plaque you got on the wall. whatever fucking Himalayan mountain you slept in for fucking years. I don't give a shit. It's all a growth process and a learning process, and there is no destination for anything, whether it's enlightenment, whether it's being, genius status musician. I mean, even someone like Prince and David Bowie were still learning. And that's the beauty of them, because they would admit that. And that's what it's all about, really. There is no like destination stop in this lifetime ever. It's just growth, 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 change, change, change.
I felt that way as I was listening to your record, because I had never heard one of your solo albums before. I only knew you from the world of metal. So when I dove into this record, I was like, I don't know what to expect going in. And when I heard it, I was like taken back by surprise, but in a good way, where I love when you're listening to an artist that you already enjoy and you feel like you discover a new side of them. And I mean, it's probably a side of yourself that you already knew existed. But for me as a listener, I'm like, oh, I didn't know they could do this as well. And it pulls you in a different way. Like it makes the connection feel deeper, because you're like, oh, I have a better understanding of this creative person now.
Yeah, well, I've been making solo records since 1999, so you have a lot of catching up to do.
I like that.
And coming from just, a metal perspective, yeah, you might as well just fucking, do a reset, because, I'm not metal one bit. I don't have a cell of metal in me. Neither does a band like really Life of Agony. In a way, we've been pretty much misrepresented throughout our entire careers. That's my personal opinion. Maybe the guys would think differently or interject differently, but to me, it's an alternative hard rock punk kind of. We were doing, we created the genre of emo. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Emotional kind of hard rock, street justice slam music. You know what I mean? I know some of the guys, like Joey's big Metallica fan and stuff like that. We all are, but we come from very, very different, we're not a metal band. Flotsam and Jetsam is a metal band. Exodus is a metal band. Life of Agony? Question mark. So, yeah. When you listen to my shit, point is, and from 99, just to give you a little history, I've worked with pretty much everybody. I had incredible people working with me in the studio. I've had Bowie's band. I've had Lenny Kravitz's band members play with me. I've recorded with cats that made albums for Scott Weiland, Porno for Pyros, I'm sure you got the bio, the list goes on. I have Flea on. I've worked with Flea. I've worked with so many great people throughout the years. Yeah, it's, I grew up playing classical. I grew up listening to jazz. John Coltrane was one of my favorites, Billie Holiday, Etta James, David Bowie, Prince, Brian Eno, Queen, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, the Pink Floyd. This was my world. I never really, the hardest I got was like the Cro-Mags and the Bad Brains and Gorilla Biscuits and Quicksand and key kind of bands, I have a very eclectic ear. I'm very different. I don't really fit into my industry either.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think when you do something that people haven't really heard before, as much as they love it, there's a part of their brain, at least from the business side of things, where they're like, well, we have to homogenize it somehow. We have to call it something that we can sell it as. And even if you don't fit into that genre specifically, they're just like, well, this audience might like it. And that's when we get into problems like this, where then you spend the next 20 years being associated with a genre that you don't necessarily feel that you belong in.
Yeah, well, that's the lack and limitations of other people's minds. You know, that's a bad habit humans have. They want to title everything. They want to put idiotic meanings behind words that they have no idea what they actually mean. And they want to stick people into they want to compartmentalize expression and humanity in a sense. We do it to each other. I don't, but I mean, the majority does. And we're always marginalizing and, okay, you fit here. Okay. Oh, I can have a better day now because you fit there. And, oh, let me put you in that little box and you go in that side of box. And, oh, I can live well now today. You know, you got too many people needing and wanting to change other people so they can be more comfortable instead of pushing their own envelope, experiencing their own discomfort, and trying to learn a fucking thing or two in their life instead of being this reductionist, you know, I don't know.
No,
you know what I'm trying to get at.
I understand where you're going. Absolutely. And I think it's interesting that you've been able to, I mean, you strike me as a person who's, they can say whatever they want or they can label it however they want. And you just, as an artist, seem to just do whatever it is that feels right to you. And you don't get hung up on, they expect us to do this, or they expect me to write a song that sounds like this or perform this way. And I'm just going to do me.
Yep. That's exactly me. I could literally give a fuck who thinks what, who says what. No one, it doesn't matter. Outside opinions don't sway me either way. I have a very sharp radar. I'm very in touch with my intuitive nature. That's another lost art, by the way. Speaking of lost arts, my antenna is just like on high alert, and I need to do what makes me happy. I constantly need to reach for satisfaction and joy, even if I don't need it in the day, but I'm always trying to, do me. I'm trying always, even to myself, to show up. I didn't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning today. I could have tried to stay, but I got up. I get excited about living life. I woke up again. I'm healthy. I'm grateful. I'm appreciative. Time to get fucking creative, man. Time to make the best of this day. Time to be who you came here to be. Time to uncover your soul to the world. Too many people are pretending in their life. I don't pretend. I'm done. I'm done. I was done 20 years ago pretending. I lived too long pretending to be someone else, to make other people happy, to make other business colleagues, family, this, that. You can't live for other people. You gotta live and breathe. You gotta just open up like a flower, whatever your soul is telling you, no matter what. That's what we're here for. We're here to create. We're here to grow. We're here to learn. We're here to be the best versions of ourselves. And I won't have it any other way. And that's why no critic could get me. No one can get me. No one, even if they did get me on the cross crucified, I'd laugh in their face as I die, because I'm going to die well, because I live well. So,
I love that.
Yes, I do. I do what the fuck I gotta do. I take nothing personal. I could give a fuck who's doing what. I could give a fuck what song, how you're supposed to write a song to fit into the radio-friendly, formatted, jerk-off fucking, go nowhere. Every song sounds the same fucking playlist. It's like, it's an insult. It's an insult. It's like, as time goes on, there seems to be like in an authentication of everything, even the music industry. It's getting more and more and more manufactured by the fucking album, by the verse, by the chorus. It's getting more and more manufactured. You know, even some of the people in my world, kind of, you know, sort of in that whole. And I'm not just talking about, you know, the producers that write for Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift and this one and that one and Kelly Clarkson. They're all just the same producers, right, for all the same artists. Even rock bands too. You can tell. They're all writing the same fucking garbage, man. No one takes risks. Everyone plays it safe. It's sad. I'm all about taking risks and fucking living risque and taking chances and failing and blowing my fucking load. I don't give a fuck. I want to learn while I'm here. I'm not here to be this perfect fucking trophy that you put up in your glass fucking shelf, man. Like, I don't give a shit about any of that stuff, man. Like, I want to go to my grave botched. I want to go to my grave used up, you know? And I want to go to my grave knowing I've lived as much as I possibly could. You know, that's why no media, no politician, no religion, no school system, no institution that's been designed by man can infiltrate the nature of who I am. That's where we got these big problems here, because people lost the nature of themselves. They need people to create reality for them. That's why they believe every little fucking thing they hear in the media. People allow other people to define their reality instead of motherfuckers taking reality by the balls and creating their own reality. People are so passive and sad, and it's getting worse by the day. And yeah, and thank God I have music, man, you know, because who knows, man, you know. You know, I'm still an unpredictable character, even to myself, but if I didn't have music, man, Jesus Christ, if I didn't have my creativity or my avenues of expression, and I'm just happy to be me. I'm so happy I have the life that I've been given, and I have the understanding and the perception that I work on every day to sharpen my wisdom and who I am and what I am and why I am and where I'm going and why I'm here. This is the shit I focus on. You know, my life's pretty intense, but I've created. I can make fun of myself. That's the beauty about me. You know, I can poke fun. I can take a humorous approach to my own life. You know, and look in the mirror and be like, holy shit. You know, what the fuck is going on? You know, like, just getting a kick out of it, man. Life is amazing. It's beautiful. It's bizarre. It's mysterious. It's a fantasy. It's like, what is going on this planet? Where are we in this galaxy? What's the human species, man? This is the shit I think about. And this is what fuels my magical pen, my wand. That's why I can dance in any kind of musical genre that I want to. I can go R&B. I've even made a hip hop record for one of my friends that no one really knows about. And I produced hip hop records. I make music for films. I've done music for commercials, Mentos, Grolsch beer, fucking cheese commercials, you name it. I just finished music for a film, 2-hour film that I can't really talk about, but you'll find out someday. I'm sure we'll connect again, because John knows you and I know John and la la la. I'm actually thinking about, you know, hiring him again in 2021 for like just a little second batch of, like, you know, talking about the record. And because it's important, because if I don't talk about it and do it, no one else will, you know, because we were in an industry that doesn't go out of their way to help and develop really genuine great artists, you know.
Absolutely.
It's all about the payola. It's a fucking game. Everyone cheats in the Matrix.
That is a sad truth.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you something.
That's why you got like artists that have like 500,000, 400,000 followers on Instagram, but when they come to New York and play, they're playing the fucking knitting factory, which holds fucking 200 kids. You know what I mean? It's like, get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck how many followers you got. You know, it's like, what kind of business are you really doing? How many tickets are you really selling? Yeah, you can buy followers. You could cheat in the Matrix. It's funny. I laugh my ass off when I see a band that has like 500,000 followers. They come to New York. They play the Gramercy. They can't even sell it out. Mm-hmm. It's fucking a joke. Fucking hysterical. This whole thing, the way it's all going. I'm so happy I came up when I did. Shit was grassroots. It was word of mouth. There was passion in the air. There was passion for music. Now everybody is just, I don't know. I don't want to say everybody, but there's there's like a desensitization that has gone on. There's like, there's so much information that people are just, we're suffering from an overabundance of information is what's going on. As a species, we're not even designed to take in the information overload that we've been taking in because of social media. So, anyway, I forgot the point I was trying to make.
No, that's okay. No, I love to use my time with somebody to try to learn something from them. And, when I think of your story and everything that you're saying to me, I'm curious about how you found the attitude or the way that you approach your life, because even as recently as yesterday, I make a lot of things, videos and audio content and all of this. And, I had some good praise recently, but yesterday I saw like one negative shitty thing somebody said to me on the internet that I didn't even know. And I let it like derail my day. Like my brain just fed on it for a while. And you strike me as the kind of person that could care less what other people say or think about you. You just do you no matter what. And I'm curious how you like found yourself in that position in life. Cause were you always that way, or was it just a day when you were just over it?
Both. Mm-hmm. And both. But in the past recent 5 years, there's been some kind of dramatic, like, I really don't give a fuck what anyone fucking thinks. Like, this is what you have to do. This is what you do. It's real easy, man. Listen, you just got to do you. You have to understand that when people like this, like, for example, I'll post, I don't know if you've seen my Instagram, but yes. Sometimes I'm a very sensual person. I'm very erotic. I love sex. I'm not ashamed of my body. I love showing parts of it. I have a foot fetish. I share that. Just the other day, I posted something. Some asshole writes me back, "You are so fucking disgusting. I can't believe the way you turned out at something like that." So I was like, okay. Normally, it's usually a guy that has this energy. Normally, women aren't like this. It's usually the men that are very, so either I just think to myself, like, okay, he's either a queer and he hasn't come out yet and he's hating on me because I'm living a life that he can't, or just, or you have to understand, your haters are just showing you that you're aligned. You're on your path. You're doing you. So you have to look at it differently. You have to flip the script on the motherfucker. You have to flip the script on yourself and say, oh, okay, no problem. You don't even engage. You just block them. I don't engage. Here's what I do. I don't engage in my praise. And I don't engage in my hate, in the hate mails that I get. And I get them both every day. I'll post such a beautiful picture and then I'll get some fucking loser that just the other week was like, "You are so fucking disgusting. I can't believe what you turned into. You're a," whatever he said. And just like you, for a split second, my stomach was like, ugh, like, I can't believe people can be like this. And I never engage, because never waste your precious time with these people. Because guess what? They're in a much, much, much more worse situation than you are. Those are the only people, the people that are lashing out online, these are the people that have no fucking lives. All the transphobic people that say I'm disgusting and I'll never be a real girl or this or that, like I could give a fuck what they think is real or not. Like, anyway, like, it's like, you gotta laugh it off, and don't ever engage. You look at it, you block them. Never again is he allowed to be in your vortex, in your world. Never again is this person allowed to share in your growth, in your joy, and whatever you want. See, people want to take joy away from other people. People can be evil. The human species, we're a fucking parasite. We're virus. We are the virus, basically. You know, we have love inside of us, and we also have the killer inside of us. This is what the human species is. People don't really understand that we are extreme animals, man. We have the reptilian brain, and we have, like, you know, God's tongue brain. We're connected to the higher quantum field, but yet we're also connected to, like, the reptilian, you know, primordial, I'll fucking kill you for the last loaf of bread and toilet paper, you know, brain. And most people operate in that lower reptilian kind of brain. And I'm not even making it up. There's parts of the brain that have been in the brain for thousands, millions of years that haven't really developed. It's a very, very low vibration of the brain. It's where a lot of people on the planet are operating at very low vibrations. So these people are all over. And you know what? When they come into my world, and then I laugh it off. I'm just like, bitch, you're probably jerking off to my ass anyway. So fuck you. I'm blocking you. And you know what? It actually makes me feel good when someone's like, you're this, you're that, you're so disgusting, you're so foolish. You know, I got people in the LGBT community say, you're not a good enough advocate. All you care about is your music and your career. You're not trans enough for this and that. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you people, you miserable fucks behind your screen? You go nowhere, motherfuckers. That's all you got to think. That's it. Done. Goodbye. That's it. You don't let them. Don't let them derail you. And you know what? If it happens again, don't be hard on yourself. Don't treat yourself the way other people want to treat you. You can't be like that to yourself. Okay, it derailed your day. Okay, you be like Betsy Johnson. Put your fucking hair up in a bun. You were sad for one day. Okay, give yourself the one day. Sleep it off. Next day, re-fucking set or reset the night before. You got to put intentions in your mind. You gotta set your day for the next day when you're sleeping. Stop thinking about the bullshit, the negativity. Say, you know what? Put the monkey mind aside. I'm going to have a great day tomorrow. I don't give a fuck what happens. I don't care what I do. It's going to be a great fucking day. You got to program your mind, and that's when your subconscious is the most vulnerable, when you're about to go to sleep. You can program yourself, literally. That's what I do. I've been doing it for years. If I want something, I manifest it. I tell myself I live it, and it happens. I live it, and it fucking happens. Fun example. So oh, wait, let me finish what I was telling you. So listen, you don't let these people bother you. They're nobody. They're going nowhere. And you know what? You have to look at it this way. You have to say, this poor fuck. He must be miserable. He must be, or she must be really unhappy. Let me send them love. You send them love. You wrap them up and you let them blow away in the air. Always send people love. They send you the hatred. Say, you know what? This poor fuck, I feel bad for him. He's got hate in his heart. I'm going to send him love. I'm going to send his family love. And I wish him blessings. Goodbye. You block them. You never invest your energy in any of these people, ever. Whether it's online or whether it's in family, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever you're up to, you know, you always have to check in with your heart. Always check in with your heart and your soul. Because, and that's how you build. And then this momentum builds. You got to do the fucking work. You can't just like, you got to do the fucking work. You got to want to be strong. You got to claim your warrior fucking self. You got to have the right, you got to change your attitude. If I'm uplifting you and inspiring you to like be better, good. Let your cellular structure grow into the good. Let it, you know, become that fire. You got to just change your attitude. That's it. And then you got to build that momentum. You build and you heal yourself. And guess what? You're allowed to have I have bad days. Things bother me, of course. But you can't worry yourself sick about stuff, and you can't do that to yourself, especially when you don't even know this fucking person. Okay? I have people telling me the most disgusting things all the time. I also have people telling me the most beautiful things all the time. And I focus on the people that share beauty with me. What you focus on, you bring into your reality. This is a yes universe. There is no in the universe. If you're fucking living today and you're just like all day long, this fucking day sucks, my lunch sucked, I hate this, I'm fucking miserable, but the universe is saying, okay, check, indeed you are miserable. And the universe is going to keep sending you things to keep your shitty fucking momentum on a roll, because that's what you're asking. And that's full circle about creating your reality and not allowing people to define your reality for you. You know, it's sad. People rely on the media for that. These strangers, they put their heart and souls into these strangers that tell them things, whether they're true or not. 90% of it is untrue. But, I mean, are you fucking kidding me? Someone walks up to you in the street and tells you something. You're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. Let me do that. And you're like, who the fuck was that guy? Who is this fucking person? What the fuck? People like are fucking weak, man. People are fucking weak. People don't work on themselves. That's another big problem. Diet isn't just about the food you put in your body. Diet's about your emotional, your physical, your intellectual, your universal self, your emotional self, your psychological self, your higher self. You got to watch the information you take in. You got to watch how you talk to yourself. You know?
Absolutely.
So that's how you just got to have a fucking warrior state of mind. You want a hint? Here's another hint. I'm big into like introverts philosophies. So I'm a big fan of Stoicism. I don't know if you know about Stoicism, but Stoicism is like all the wise knowledge from like Marcus Aurelius, you know, Aristotle, very common sense kind of wisdom, you know. You should look up if you've never heard of Stoicism. And also too, check out Alan Watts. Get into philosophy, man. Expand your mind. You know, philosophy is incredible. I'm the way I am because I've been listening to lectures my entire life from Alan Watts, Terence McKenna, you know, Manly P. Hall, the Dalai Lama, Wayne Dyer, Abraham Hicks, you name it, everything and anything that talk, like Louise Hay, anything that talks about like healing your body, healing your mind, healing your energy, I'm fucking in. I've been doing yoga for over 20 years. I've been meditating my entire life. And that's why I am the way I am. I'm like a rose bush. I'm that pretty rose petal, but I'm also that thorny motherfucker. And I'll wrap those thorns and I'll kill you with the fucking thorns. I'll wrap those thorns around your whole shit and you won't be able to get out. I'm like, you know, I'm just metaphorically giving you an idea of like what I'm like. But yeah, I'm like that, you know. So, and that's, I have to be. And also being, you know, a species that transcends its own physical meat suit. Yeah. You know, you know, look, you have a choice. Be a fucking victim pussy or fucking be a warrior creator. Be a victim of reality or be a creator of reality. I choose being a creator every day. Every fucking day.
Well,
every day.
I thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to step on you.
Nope, you didn't. I'm done. I talk a lot, so
that's okay.
You can actually come.
Well, I was going to say that we are unfortunately out of time, but I do appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. Like I said, I've enjoyed the record. We're going to plug it heavily on the show and through all my other channels, but I wanted to talk. I just wanted to have the chance to speak to you because I found your journey to be so inspiring, and I thank you for sharing your time with me today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you. And don't let fuck people, man. Don't let them bother you. You know? Don't let anyone derail you. And if it happens again, don't be hard on yourself about it. You know, you will learn and there will be a day. You just have to really want that. You just have to want it. Nope, not going to let this asshole bother me. Block. Fuck out of here. That's when you do something even more closer to your heart. That's when you reveal a little bit more of yourself and you plunge into it. You plunge into the fear.
Absolutely.
But anyway, have a beautiful day and I'll talk some other time.
Yeah, probably in 2021. Let's make it that far and we'll talk again.